Welcome back. We're going to round out our deck tech series for Wilhelt the Rotcleaver with a super spicy cEDH version. And a little bit later in the video, I want to share with you a pitfall that I think a lot of players get into when they're trying to build Wilhelt for cEDH. As I mentioned in the previous video, we're going to use Rotcleaver, cEDH, and Mikaeus as a buried alive pile as our featured combo in this deck. How the combo works is a little convoluted, so I want to save it for later on the video after we've kind of taken a better look at the entire deck. We've still got the Gravecrawler in the deck that we can use with the Phyrexian Arena to produce infinite mana and ping the table down, and some really great support cards to help us deal with our opponent's decks. I like Ledger Shredder in particular because it's going to allow us to discard our reanimation targets. Since Buried Alive is going to be our primary combo, we've got a ton of tutors to help support this, and of course a bunch of reanimation spells we can use once we get those creatures into our graveyard. We made some really great upgrades to our interaction package to help us deal with other cEDH decks, in addition to adding some really great sacrifice cards like Culling the Weak and Sacrifice. They're going to help us make a ton of mana and execute our Buried Alive combo. Some other sweet includes are the Transmute cards like Dizzy Spell, which can tutor for cards like Demonic Consultation, Gravecrawler, Skull Clamp potentially. Plex can have some really interesting niche cases where it can counter a spell, but most of the time we're going to be transmuting this into the Buried Alive or the Phyrexian Altar. The fast mana we've added in the artifacts is going to be super important for executing that Buried Alive combo, and the Elixir of Immortality is some super spicy tech we're going to use to loop our library. The enchantments are all super straightforward, just a bunch of reanimation spells, and then the classics. Don't forget, since we're on Tainted Pact, we want to make sure our land base has no repeats, and a little bit harder since we're in the two colors, but we have the snow basics that can help us. Now let's talk about that main combo line, but before we do that, I do want to talk about the one big mistake I think Wilhelt players are making when they're trying to make their deck cEDH. Really, it comes down to adding too many zombies to your deck. First, I have a very extreme example here. You could probably run a few more zombies and get away with it depending on what other combos you wanted to run. This combo line was super cool and didn't require much more support from zombies. So this combo is possible to execute if Wilhelt isn't in play, but gets a lot easier if he is. What we're going to do is we're going to cast our Buried Alive, and we're going to find cEDH, the Mikaeus, and the Rotcleaver. Depending on what reanimation spell you're using, you want to make sure that the Rotcleaver is on top of your graveyard. You're going to cast your reanimation spell targeting the Rotcleaver. The Rotcleaver is going to enter, and that's going to bring in Mikaeus and the cEDH. cEDH is going to exploit herself twice, and you're going to end up tutoring for 2 cards and have 2 zombies on the battlefield because of Wilhelt's ability. The cards you're going to find are a piece of fast mana and a sacrifice. You're going to cast your fast mana, add a black mana, and then you're going to cast Sacrifice on your Rotcleaver. It's going to trigger, and the Undying from Mikaeus is going to bring the Rotcleaver back. Rotcleaver ETB is going to bring back the cEDH, and cEDH is going to exploit herself 2 more times, making 2 more zombies and tutoring for any 2 cards in your deck. The cEDH triggers are going to tutor for a Phyrexian Altar and a Dance of the Dead, and then Sacrifice is going to resolve, adding 7 black mana to your mana pool. Cast a Phyrexian mana going down to 4, and sacrifice the Rotcleaver to make an additional black mana. Wilhelt trigger is going to create another 2/2 zombie, and then we're going to cast our Dance of the Dead going down to 3 mana, targeting our Rotcleaver. cEDH is going to exploit herself 2 more times when she enters, and you've got a few different options to win the game at this point. You can use Elixir of Immortality to shuffle your reanimation spells back into your graveyard and loop cards like Praetor's Grasp, or you can just tutor for Gravecrawler plus Diregraph Captain to win the game. Thanks for watching, guys, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content and you gain a little bit more perspective about Wilhelt in cEDH.